Well, today they have the concept of disruptors, disruptive companies. For example, Apple or Uber or Netflix. They came in and they disrupted the way things were done and they kind of shifted the market. But what I tell people is that there are also spiritual disruptors in the world. Saints, sages, what we call in India, sadhus, who come in to our lives and start dropping bombs of wisdom. And it causes some disruption in your life. And basically at the age of 15, I started meeting monks, meeting spiritual people. And they started dropping these bombs of wisdom in my life. And it was beginning to shake my life because I had a certain notion of what the future ahead was. I had a certain notion of what success was. And with these bombs of wisdom, they were like decimating the landscape of my future. It was like making me really think about things.
Like what, for example?
You know, what would I do as a career? Would I get married? Is that what everyone's meant to do? Is making money and status symbols, is this the measure of what is going to really make me happy? All of these things, all of these questions, where am I going to live? What kind of lifestyle am I going to have? How should I be perceived by the world? All of these things, they started helping me think in a different way.
Okay, but what were the bombs of wisdom that they dropped in you?
The bombs of wisdom was that they opened me up to a new world. Before that, I'd only been thinking about this world. But the old words of the scripture were opening up new worlds. They were explaining that there's reality beyond this world. There's identity beyond this material frame. There's purpose beyond the duties and responsibilities of this world and our immediate life. And they began shifting the why we exist. And that was making me think more broadly. Before, I was only thinking about the how and the what of what I do in this immediate situation. But now they helped me to begin thinking of a deeper why, which helped me to explore newer worlds and newer ways of living.
Why do we exist?
In the deepest sense, to find happiness.
Okay.
They asked our teacher, Srila Prabhupada, what is the purpose of life? And he said, to enjoy. And then he said, but you don't know how. So the scriptures say, Anandamaya bhyashat, that the very nature of the soul is to seek happiness. But if we want to really seek the deepest type of happiness, then we need to get to the deepest sense of our own identity, who we are.
Okay.
And so what the disruptors were helping me to do is get to my deepest why. Okay. You see, this is really important. Like, if I say to you, Ranveer, what is your goal in life? And you say, I want to be rich and wealthy. I know this is not the truth. Maybe it is. I want to be rich and wealthy. But then I'm going to ask you, why? And then you may say, well, I really want to go and just be free to go on holidays and vacations whenever I want. And I say, why? And then you say, because I want a life that's fun, exciting, and adventurous. You see, just in that small process, the goal of wanting to have a life in which you're experiencing fun, adventure, and excitement, that's very different to a life in which your goal is to become wealthy. Because there's a possibility that if you haven't got to that deepest why, you could get really wealthy and have a super boring life. Because you haven't got to the deepest why. And so what spiritual teachers help us to do is get to the deepest why.